Greetings and welcome to Words About Games breakdown of EGX 2019 with Amy and Keith. One of us was at EGX 2018. This is the general introduction to all of the EGX videos that we're going to be putting out over the course of the next week. So if you watch all the videos, you'll see this like 10 times. Just I didn't want to get off track in the beginning, but hey, it's us. I was at EGX. Keith wasn't. I played a ton of games. Keith doesn't know anything about any of them because we haven't seen each other since I got back from London. So we're going to talk about them. All of them. It's separated into categories that make sense if you're at the show and probably make sense. I hope they make sense. If you weren't at the show, either way, thumbs up. I have 7 games of the show and I made this. So I'm going to be giving these out as we do the podcast. So keep an eye out for my 7 best games of EGX with the little hearts and stuff. So without further ado, I'll hand it over to future Keith and future Amy, who are going to be having lots of conversations about video games.
Over to you, future me.
Okay. So let's talk about one of the 2 console manufacturers who are actually at EGX. And let's talk about Nintendo.
Nintendo,
true to form, had a massive stand, didn't bring enough consoles for nearly every game that they brought, and for some reason hate chairs. Like, I just need to get this off my chest, right? Everyone, right, brought chairs. Like, whether they were shitty little stools, awesome gaming chairs, in between. Literally everyone brought chairs. Nintendo brought no chairs for anything.
Nintendo, we have to remember, is at its heart and foremost a Japanese company. And Japanese companies do have this idea for meetings, that meetings are more productive and more efficient and faster if you don't sit down.
Right. Here's the problem with that in a gaming convention sense. I've been standing, we'll talk about the first game, Pokemon. I've been standing waiting for an hour to play a Pokemon. Not moving very much, I might add. Because, I can't really move because I'm in a queue. I don't want to then have to stand in front of a console for 20 minutes with a controller in my hands, because here's the secret about gaming conventions. You know when you're standing up playing games? Do you know which part of your body hurts the most if you do that a few times in a row? Your shoulders, because you have to stand with a controller, holding the controller. It's like my legs, my shoulders. Like, I was stupid enough that I did all of the Nintendo booth games that I played back to back to back. Apart from one, which, like, there's one game on this list, and I'm sure you can see it, because, I showed you the list that, yeah, you have to stand up for that game, but the other ones, not so much. So now that I've got that off of my chest, let's talk about Pokemon. I've never played a main Pokemon game before. I can't say that anymore, because I played Pokemon Sword and or Shield. People kept asking me which one I was playing. And I was like, it's a demo. One, it doesn't matter because it's a demo. All the Pokemon that I had in my inventory was pre-selected for me. So I could get through the demo. And 2, like, the sign just said Pokemon Sword and Shield. So, I don't know which one I was playing.
You don't know which, Pokemon, the specific starter Pokemon for Sword or Shield?
I don't know if I had any. The thing is, I recognized most of the names of the Pokemon that I was using, so I don't know that I had any starter Pokemon in my inventory, because the demo was very well designed in that, because, the main thing with Pokemon is, you when you're doing Pokemon battles, Pokemons have different types, and the idea is you use a type that counters the type that you're fighting. So, I had, one of each type, sort of, in my inventory. So I had, Scorbunny, which was the fire one. I had the weird blue fish one for the water type. I had the night... Sobble? Yeah, that's the one. I had this weird night dude. He was, steel. I don't remember any of the other Pokemon names. I'm sorry.
I had a green monkey called Grookey, because I did actually try to look up what the starter Pokemon.
I don't know if I had Grookey or if I fought Grookey in the thing. So here's how it went down. So the demo me trying to get to a Pokemon Stadium fight, and there's a puzzle that you have to solve to get to it, and then you do the fight. And from what the rep who was standing there talking to me was telling me, from what I gathered from it, is like to do this, like to get to a Pokemon Stadium fight, you have to do a puzzle before you get to it, which he seemed to imply was new. And I just took him at his word because I was like, I haven't played a Pokemon before. It's like not been my thing because I've never really had a Nintendo handheld console to play Pokemon on. So the puzzle itself, as going in, was kind of simple. I got the impression that it was quite early on in the game, so I was just wandering around, and there was like different colored water pipes, like splashing water down. And Keith is gone. I haven't even.
I'm sorry. I was still looking for like what the exclusive Pokemon were, and apparently there's version exclusive gyms, and one of the gym leaders is called Bay.
Hell yeah! Sounds
young woman with like a bandana / bunny ears because of the way it's tied off, called Bay.
Japan. Yeah, so I had to do the puzzle, and it was just about hitting the switches in the right order, so I could continue on and then eventually get to the stadium fight. Like I fought a couple of trainers on the way because apparently, like when you think about the logic and the logistics behind like how it's like you're scheduled to fight in this Pokemon arena fight, but first you have to get through our faulty plumbing, and also there will be Pokemon trainers there who will try and stop you.
I think. Did you say you had a night style one?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I was going to say if it's a seagull using a leek as a sword and shield.
No, I would have remembered that 100%.
Yeah, then you're playing sword. That looks hilarious. I may be tempted to play it after having seen that visual.
I only used like 3 Pokemon in the demo. Yeah. Like I had about 7. I think, but I only needed 3.
I tried to solve the question for you.
Sorry, it was Pokemon, right? So like the puzzle was fine. It was what it was. It wasn't incredible. Like it wasn't like mind blowing. Like I wasn't like, oh wow, this is really clever. I was just like, oh, okay, this is a thing that's in my way. And then got to the stadium, and I fought this one battle with like the Pokemon trainer who was like I was supposed to fight, and not the ones who were just there in behind the scenes. And she summoned 2 Pokemon to fight me, so I was like one after the other. So I had to switch Pokemon up, like for my attacks to be super effective. Here's where I ran the other, much more awesome mechanic. And that I think the guy said was new for Pokemon Sword and Shield, which was Gigamaxing my Pokemon. So, like, you do the fight, and you're like, I choose you, boom, and then, like, the 2 Pokemon, like, appear on the battlefield, ready to fight, and I had the option to Gigamax, and the rep was like, dude, you should do that. And I was like, okay, I'll do that. Like, I was going to do it anyway, because I assumed the demo had unlocked it for me for a reason. And what that does is, it turns Pokemon battles into Kaiju battles. Because it makes all the Pokemon huge. And it gives them, like, new attacks and stuff. And because I did my Gigamax, because of the way I had been selecting moves, I did my Gigamax, and when I attacked the first Pokemon hadn't been made giant. So it was still a teeny weeny little Pokemon, and I just obliterated it. It was like, such and such, used such and such. It was super effective. I was like, yeah. The attack I just unleashed was like 10 times the size of it.
And all I've got a vision is like your opponent going, like summons Jackalope, small like bunny-like creature with antlers. Amy summons Gojira.
Yeah, more or less. I think
the fire breath comes out. You radiate the fire breath, which wipes out half of Tokyo.
Well, I made
Gojira used fire, like nuclear breath. It was super effective, and then the camera pans over the devastated city.
Yeah, I think the Pokemon I was using in the last fight was what was the water one you could have said Gobbler.
But yeah, I can't. All I can see now is that seagull. And
Right,
if
it
you if,
wasn't
if
the
you
seagull.
also want to see the seagull, look at the Facebook chat we use for this channel, and you will see the image I saw of the seagull knight.
Yeah, it wasn't that one. It was the water one. And like I did the fight. It didn't last too long. And then the demo. There was a quick cutscene and the demo was over. Like people like I can't compare it to older Pokemon. Like
Yeah,
because I've played Pokemon Snap, Pokemon Battle Arena, and Pokemon Go. Um, this is a very different game from those three, but it was fun. Like I'm looking forward to playing it in November when it comes out. I haven't decided which version I'm getting because I haven't really looked into it all that much. But yeah, it was okay. Like like I'm sure there's like people like who can like hyper analyze the demo. Like, but yeah, it was like Patrick was asking me a bunch of questions, and I was just like, I don't know. Like, which version are you playing at? Pff, I don't know. Like, oh, did you have a good time? Yes, I did. We should play Pokemon together. It'll be both of us. Both of us can be like, this was our first Pokemon experience. And we'll talk about it. And maybe we'll remember the names of some of the Pokemon by then too. Apart from Pikachu and Eevee and the Smash Brothers ones, Bulbasaur and Incineroar and
Charmander.
Charmander. Yeah, I don't think we
I'm
remember all
trying
of
to
them.
remember the ones that we sell at work. Mimikyu, which is this horrifying Pokemon which lives under a blanket, which pretends to be Pikachu.
That's amazing. That is actually amazing. um, but yeah, I mean, unless you have any questions about Pokemon, that I probably won't be able to answer. Let's move on to Ring Fit Adventures. Yes, I played the new Nintendo Fitness thing in public in front of people and thoroughly humiliated myself. So, what I made the mistake of doing was, like, it was the last day I played this, and I saw people playing it. And what it turns out was, I saw people play, there was two modes available, right? At this demo. There was the adventure mode, which is the RPG, like, story type mode.
Mm-hmm.
And there were the mini games, and I'd seen people playing the mini games, and like in the mini games there was like a mini game where you like back to balance,
Mm-hmm.
like a thing, so you collected coins. There was another one where you were on the side of a building, like shooting the thing up. It was like also based around exercises, but none of them looked too strenuous. But when I got in the queue, I was like the first person after the four people already having a demo on my side of the thing. And the guy goes, we've got adventure mode and we've got mini games. Which do you have a preference? And I was just, you know me. I was like, nah, I'm good. Whatever. I just want to play the game and try it out. So I got put in adventure mode. And one of the things about adventure mode is you never stop jogging. Ever. It's really cool though. So, you know We Fit, right?
Yeah,
And
I'm familiar.
that's basically just like a freaking like a very dry exercise program. I know We Fit Trainer has taken on a life of their own because of the Smash Brothers character. But in that game it was just like a series of exercises and it was like a gym program for your house. This
Mm-hmm.
is like an action RPG where where the character is you and all of the moves are exercise moves. And as it turns out, that is way cooler and a much better way to get someone like me to exercise. So I played two levels. There was a boss level, and I could see that there was a boss level. But the guy ended my demo after two, and I don't know whether that was because I looked like I was about to die, or because that was legitimately where the demo ended. But I played the two levels, and essentially you're in this like weird fantasy techno whatever world, and you jog in place. So you strap one Joy-Con to your leg, and then you put the other one in the ring. So like it's called Ring Fit because you've got the ring. You put a Joy-Con in it, and that's how you use the thing. It's very squishy as well. And you run through the world. So like you jog on the spot, and you're going through the world, and like there's coins to collect by like jumping, and you jump by pointing the ring down, and essentially when you squeeze the ring together, you're blasting like air out of it. So if you point it down and you hit it, you jump, and like there's boxes off to the side, and you boosh, boosh, and break the boxes, and you break down doors and stuff. And every now and again, you get into a battle with like creatures, monsters in the world, and the moves that you do on these creatures are exercise moves. So like there was like a squatting one, then there was other ones as well, but like you get to pick which move to do, like you're in an RPG, because there was this one that was like knees to your chest was a move, was the move like to pick, and I was like, I don't want to do that in the middle of a convention hall. Like, because I don't know, that sounds pretty like hardcore. So I'm just gonna skip that. So I was able to just skip that and pick like ones that was a bit more comfortable, like performing, which I thought was pretty cool. Like the whole demo, I was on about 20 minutes. I did it first thing on a Sunday morning. That was a mistake, but like I had a lot of fun playing it, and I feel like if I had that, like if I had Ring Fit Adventures in my house, the RPG nature of the gameplay would spur me on to actually like play it. Like if I'd have been playing it at home, I would have been like, cool, I'm gonna do Ring Fit, like, and like do some exercise, and I would have done the levels and the boss fight, and then been like, cool, I've done my exercise, and like that kind of structure would be like kind of perfect, because it's like I'm not just exercising, I'm playing a game as well, which was neat. Do you have any questions about Ring Fit Adventure?
No. Fairly sure it would kill us, but above that, no.
I really like. I actually want one. Like after playing at the EGX, because like I say, I had a lot of fun. I had so much fun, Keith. That it is getting one of these Ring Fit Adventures. Best game of EGX 2019. If I'm keeping track, that's the fourth one, right?
Yeah. Because you had 3 in the main games and then 1 now.
Yeah. I got 3 left. Don't worry, I already know where they're going. It was a lot of fun. 2 of the games I played at the Nintendo stand, Hollow Knight Silksong. I was incredibly lucky to actually play that because for some dumbass reason, they brought one stand. They brought one console.
Wait, just one console?
One. So it was in the other section where Nintendo always has, where they just have a bunch of non-Nintendo games, and they have all these like back-to-back machines. And Hollow Knight Silksong had one console. Like Trials of Mana, which we'll talk about in a sec, had 2. And even then, they had 2, but they also had 2 Switch Lites. So there was technically 4. Hollow Knight had 1. I went on day 1 to go and play this, and like every other day, there was just a queue for it. And the demo wasn't timed. And because it wasn't a Nintendo thing, no one was really, I don't want to say policing it, curating it. So people would just go on for like half an hour, 45 minutes, and then, yeah, it was a nightmare. Like my friend Luna tried to get on it twice, and it was just, she couldn't get near it. It was impossible. Like, unless you were willing to like queue for like ages.
That really sucks.
That it did suck. I felt really bad because I've been talking about how good it was before that because I played it and I was like excited for her to play it. But when I went, there was one person playing it, and I was stood behind that person. When we went, there was like 6 people waiting. And then obviously like I kept checking in on it, and it was like as I was walking past, and it was like, oh, it was just a nightmare like situation in terms of queuing. The game itself was cool. Like there was 2 different options you could choose for like where to play. Because I'm a decent person, I wasn't like, I'm going to play everything in this demo, and I just chose the one, played it, and then left. Which was the harder of it was like the bit, there was the beginning bit you could choose, or there was the bit that was further into the game, and I chose the bit that was further into the game. And died within 10 seconds because it turns out I completely forgot how to play Hollow Knight. So I ran out of the room, jumped, missed my jump, fell, and then there was a guy fighting, and I was like, I'd completely forgotten everything. I just kind of went, and died, and I was like...
Did you scream, I forgot everything?
I should have, because there were people watching.
I forgot everything!
I forgot how to play Hollow Knight! But no, it was fun. It's obviously the new character, Hornet, who was in Hollow Knight. And she plays differently to the Hollow Knight from the first game. In terms of, like, it's like little things. Like, in Hollow Knight, you built up the bar, and when you wanted to heal, you channeled the bar. So you held the button down, and then you would heal, bam, like one thing at a time.
Yeah.
To, like, however much you was in your bar, and you could stop partway through. With Hornet, you collect silk, and you heal pretty much instantly.
Oh.
But you use the entire bar, no matter what. So, like, you can heal at full, as long as you've got a full bar. Like, if you've only got a half bar, you can't heal at all. Which is,
right.
It's a nice trade-off. Sort of like, hey, you can heal instantly now, but you can't pull out an emergency, like, 1 pip heal, like, if you need it when you're doing something.
Yeah.
Which, it was cool. It was nice. She has, like, throwing daggers, which were cool. Her downward attacks are diagonal, as opposed to, like, Hollow Knight kind of, like, bounces, like, goes straight down. Hers are diagonal. But every enemy in the area I was in had helmets. So downward attacks were more used for getting behind enemies, like, easier, because you would just bounce off them. Like, you'd be like, bing, and then bounce off. So, like, if I was trying to get past someone, I would be like, bing, and then land on the other side of them. But it was fun. Like, I didn't get to the boss, because, like, I was aware that people were waiting.
Behind you.
Behind me. And I'd played it, but I played it for about 20 minutes, sort of exploring like the whole area. I can't remember what it was called now. It was like it was a fire, like, lava type area. And yeah, it's like, apart from those, like, smaller sort of touches and changes, this is still very much a Hollow Knight game, and, like, that's awesome, because Hollow Knight is an awesome game. I just wish more people had gotten to try it.
Yeah.
For sure. Even, like, one of the Nintendo reps, he was, like, patrolling the area with, like, all of these different games on, was like, I told them they needed more than one console. Like, yeah, they did. Apparently they weren't allowed to have, like, a handheld one to go with it, because that would have solved the problem a bit. Like, it had to be played on the big screen. I don't know why. Neither did he, to be fair. The last game I played at the Nintendo stand was Trials of Mana. It was okay. Very much a Dragon Quest-ish JRPG.
I just fucking hear Patrick's voice in the distance.
Like, there are certain games, right, where it's just, it is what it is. Like, and I picked it up and I played it and I had fun with it. I ran around town a bit, and then it was like, oh, we have to go and do this thing. I wasn't paying attention to this story because, like, I'm going to play this game when it comes out. I'm not really that bothered. Like, when I'm playing demos, right, if I have the option to skip story stuff and cutscenes, I just do it. It's like, I never do it when I'm playing a game at home, but because I'm playing a demo, it's like, I'm just trying to play the game, right? Like, so I was just like, whatever, to the story and what was going on. And then you go out into the area. It was the same area they showed at E3. And I accidentally went to the boss a bit early. Like, I could have explored more. But here's the weird thing. So, out in the overworld, like, you would run into enemies and fight them, like, 2 or 3 at a time. And it wasn't difficult, but it wasn't easy either. Like, I was having a bit of a tough time with it. Like, fighting the normal enemies.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get to the dungeon entrance, and then the demo just skips you straight at the boss, right? So you don't have to you don't have to play through the dungeon. You just go straight to the boss.
Oh, no.
Well, no, the boss was easier. Like, I had less trouble with the boss than I did with the normal enemies because the boss was a boss. Like, its attacks were better telegraphed. Like, it was easier to sort of dodge and like learn the like you're supposed to do with a boss, like learn the patterns and dodge and do this and do that. So I actually did the boss easier than I did any of the normal fighting encounters, which was really weird. But it was cool. Like, it was fun. I don't really have anything opinion wise to say because it was like, have you played Dragon Quest? Cool. It's Dragon Quest. Like, it's very, very reminiscent of that game. But instead of being turn-based, it's an action RPG. And you're in little arenas. Like, when a fight starts, the ring appears. And it's like you fight inside this ring. Like, you can't get past the ring. Which is nice because it means you can't accidentally aggro a whole other bunch of creatures. But, yeah, it was fun. It was fine. And that was Nintendo. I didn't play anything else on this stand. I did idly watch a couple of people playing Untitled Goose Game. Because that was there. And like, I thought about Luigi's Mansion, but it comes out in a week. So I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to queue up for it. Like, to play a game I'm going to be playing in a week anyway. It's the same reason I didn't play COD. One fun thing did happen while I was in a different booth just off from Nintendo, in that there was a Mario mascot guy. Like, those things creep me out. But he was doing a dance for some kids, and he crashed straight into the Luigi's Mansion 3 like wall and knocked it over. And a bunch of Nintendo people were like, oh shit, because there was people on the other side of this wall playing Luigi's Mansion who had no idea. And this thing was just like that. And I was just watching it's like there was people like holding this wall up, and there's people just standing on the other side like. And I think I saw one person just be like, and they're like,
Mario, don't sabotage your less famous brother.
So yeah, it's like that happened.